Well, hello everyone, welcome back to another video of the F1 2021 Driver Career Mode with Mercedes, episode number 46 today for the United States Grand Prix of Season 3, round number 14. If you missed the previous episode uploaded last week at Singapore, then recommend go and check that out. And of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel, see plenty more F1 2021 Driver Career Mode. Of course, if you missed last Friday's channel update, then Season 4, of course, is well underway, and we are working on that as well. So that should be ready for a pre-season episode next week as well. We're coming into USA then, and well, we've got an upgrade. We're back ahead of Red Bull, which is good. Ferrari, though, are still the fastest car. As well, and you know, we have been struggling in recent times. Yes, we have been lucky with our victory at Italy, and our third place at Singapore was more the fact we had better pace than the AI in the wet. But overall, I think we've done a good job, considering the fact the tools we've had and considering where Hamilton is in respected to us in the championship. Although to be honest, there has been a little bit of we have also come to have our coming together earlier in the season as well. But yes, obviously Alpine are another one team to look at, but of course some of the other teams might be saving their R&D points for that regulation change that is coming in on the aero, the chassis and the durability. So season 4 will be interesting to see which teams have been near the front, whether any of those teams, those 5 bottom teams, actually bring in an upgrade as well. We're though going to press ahead with an upgrade. Unfortunately, we're going to have to rush it if we want in time for Brazil, this ultimate brakes upgrade. So we're gonna gamble for it. If it comes through, then it'll be great, to be honest, as well. So it will give us additional braking performance, which we kind of need for the middle sector at Brazil, not so much overall in the other parts of it, but that is, of course, in 2 races time. Next Monday that one comes out. We're going to move to qualifying then, back to today's episode. USA, a track that's alright for me. Don't have great pace around here. Sector 1.
Rep, we've got a leak in the hydraulic system, so it's going to be a few minutes before we can get you out on track.
So yeah, Sector 1, as I was saying, unfortunately we did have any issues, but we were slightly delayed getting out. Interesting, we were ahead of both Red Bulls, my first attempt, as well. Not really sure what happened there. Second, this is a fourth line lap. This Sector 1, as I said, is horrific for me, especially on this year's game as well. It's always been horrific anyway because it's a wheel circuit and I'm on a pad. So getting this steering has been pretty much impossible through Sector 1 the entire time anyway. But it's even worse on this year's game because the AI are so OP through fast corners, and Sector 1 is full of fast swooping corners as well. So we're about 2/10 up on our previous best time. Verstappen and Stroll go faster. Stroll actually goes faster than Ocon, but Verstappen's the main one we're looking for. Can we get in front of Verstappen? I mean, he is our main championship rival in the championship coming into this episode, although he's not the only one, I should say. There are others. Any of the top 8 actually are still mathematically in chance of a world championship. We'll see how many drop off in today's video as well, and on the next video tomorrow around Mexico, I'm sure a couple more will drop off in their chances. Coming through the final corner then, the final sector is alright, I guess. It's not my favourite sector, but I'm not horrific through there, and in the end we weren't, to be fair, we were close to Verstappen, a 10th off, so I'll take that. But it's really not where we were compared to Lewis, who's up in P4, 1.3 seconds off. Ferrari completely dominating a 1-2 there. McLaren not good as well. So I don't know what it is. It just feels a little bit draggy, this Mercedes. So anyway, time for the race.
Welcome once again then to the United States Grand Prix here in the magnificent city of Austin. It was here in 2018 that Kimi Raikkonen delighted the world by winning for the first time in 114 races. There's always a record to be broken, so what, I wonder, is in store for us today? It's the Circuit of the Americas then, situated 14 miles outside the great city of Austin. This is the 3.6 mile lap with 20 corners, 10 each to the left and to the right, and top speeds of around 200 miles per hour. Overtaking opportunities are available into turns 1 and 12, especially with that rear wing DRS wide open. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are three main things to worry about there, Crofty. Positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole. A very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Hamilton, Daniel Ricciardo and Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Ocon, Verstappen and Mercedes, Russell, Giovinazzi, Pierre Gasly and Vettel, Perez, Tsunoda, Nicholas Latifi and Guan Yu Zhou, Mazepin and Mick Schumacher. And now it's time to head down to the track.
We're still in with a chance to win the Constructors' title, so let's make this happen in the last 3 races.
I should point out, Jeff, we're also in a chance to win that other title that we have. The Drivers, that's it. Anyway, race strategy is going to be a one-stop from soft to mediums. Gonna maybe go a little bit longer on the softs. We'll have to wait and see what the tyre wear is like. So we get ready then to have 5 red lights for the United States Grand Prix. Lights are out and away we go, and it's a poor start actually on the soft tyres. Verstappen has a great start. He's ahead of Ocon. As well as we dive down the inside of Ocon, we're going to try and dive down the inside of Verstappen. We've taken the bollard with us. We're going to sweep around the outside of Alonso, but we've made up a couple of positions against Ricciardo as well. We're up in. We're actually ahead of Ricciardo and Verstappen up to and Stroll, excuse me, and Verstappen up to P6. This is a good start for us. Can we have a look at Alonso? Can we get P5? I'm trying to have a look on the outside here. Can we make it work? No, we've run a little bit wide. Unable to get Alonso placing his car well. As Leclerc, I think, might have an issue. I don't know what's going on with him, but he leads the way, but you can see that he's not. The Ferrari should be 1,005 light years ahead of everyone else. And you can see here Sainz is closing. Goes from around the outside. Not with DRS, because DRS isn't being enabled. This is on lap number 2, but it falls behind Leclerc. Eventually, he is going to get ahead of his Ferrari teammate. Leclerc is clearly having issues, and Sainz, puts his foot through to where it's not an easy overtake, but he does get in front of his teammate eventually and runs away with it at the front of the Grand Prix. We were all over the place with Sector 1 there. Ricciardo did have a look at us, but unable to get in front. He retained P6 as well as we're also sort of not really able to keep up, even with Leclerc on his damaged car. He's holding up pretty much everyone really, and with that damaged car, and we're still not able to catch him. So that's really how poor my pace is around here in the Mercedes. As it has been of late recently, my pace really has been poor in the races, unfortunately. I just think that this car doesn't suit me. As we're watching Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri, and he has had a Spinala, or a Haas Spinala I should say, as well. So that happened while I was coming into the pits, lap number 7. Yes, coming in a little bit a lap earlier, but you know, the tyres were. I just wanted to try something to see if we can get in front, to see if we can catch anybody else. But you know, at the same time, the pace is poor around here. As I say, I think it's the car more than just me, as well as Nicholas Latifi has a puncture. Interestingly, in the Alfa Romeo, left front puncture there. So nice to see. We're starting to see that happen again. There's Gasly recovering there from his position. But as you jump to lap 8, Verstappen and Ricciardo both come out the pits. Verstappen is getting ahead, but he's had a poor exit out of the turn 1 and go side by side. This could be crucial for the World Championship. We're going to go through in front of Verstappen. We've had a little bit going wide with one of the S's. And Verstappen does have a little look at us, but we are able to keep it through there. Crucial to be in front of Verstappen, because obviously that's going to affect the outcome of that could affect the outcome of the championship. We force off Verstappen there as well, but of course Verstappen isn't going to hold off. He is going to come back at us, but we're going to try and put the Guan Yu Zhou in between us, as we could overtake the Chinese driver. A little bit wide through that corner. I didn't mean to go that wide, but it does allow Zhou to get in between us, and obviously he's going to hold up Verstappen now through this swooping turn 8 style corner and through the final section. But then Zhou does pit as well. But fortunately for us, we're going to come out and put another car between us, as there is Esteban Ocon, who has come out on hard tyres, unfortunately, in a 25% race. But there is Leclerc, who struggled now. Leclerc is heading out of this championship, unfortunately, as well. Norris has also lost out to Ricciardo as well. So Ricciardo is having a good recovery. Although saying that, Ricciardo's going slow, and Ricciardo is out of the race. And now Verstappen is ahead of Ocon. So Verstappen is going to wait no time in getting back up to me. And at this point, I did decide to try and back Verstappen up a little bit into Ocon, and play the sportsmanship game, the unsportsmanship game, excuse me, as well. It doesn't quite work because Ocon is poor on those hards as well. Even if I try, so you know, we are trying our best to try and outscore Verstappen. We are, and we're going to try and keep it behind him. As we're not going to catch Stroll or Norris, we might as well try our best to keep Verstappen and try and make sure that he gets as few points as possible. A little bit of a touch there going through turn 1. Verstappen does get, but Ocon a little bit wayward out turn 1. Otherwise, would have been a beautiful opportunity for the Frenchman to get back in front of Verstappen in the Alpine. So a little bit touch there from myself. Again, Verstappen a little bit wayward, but then Ocon has a twitch as well, not getting the grip from those hard tyres. As we're weaving now, lap 14, the final lap here. If we're going to squeeze Verstappen to the inside, this will be. We're going to take the racing line around the outside, take a nice wide line. Verstappen though gets a good exit out that corner. We're going to have to take the inside and bully our way back through, and that's going to allow Ocon to have a go at Verstappen. Can Verstappen lose? No, Verstappen is ahead of Ocon, unfortunately. That's as well. But here's a replay there. Verstappen not really keen to give me any space there as well. Ocon tried his best, but is unable to make the move around the outside. Verstappen forces off as I go wide there as well. The tyres starting to lift off as Seitz has won 2 races in a row now. He's going to be in a good position for a late charge potentially. We'll see that in a moment. Across the line we come though for P6. It's not really what we want. It's not really what we want, because you know we want to be winning the championship early, so we can celebrate the championship in style. But I mean, it's nevertheless what the result we need to be able to control the championship compared to my nearest rival Max Verstappen and Ricciardo. Obviously, big time for him because he was a big challenger as well. Ferrari look very dominant, but will that performance change? I mean, Leclerc struggled today as well after that, unable to fix that failure. As well, Ricciardo unlucky with his DNF as well. So in terms of that, Leclerc is now out of the running. Everybody else, the top 7, is still mathematically in a chance of winning the World Championship. But for us, it's a good result. We've extended our lead over Max Verstappen to 12 points, but the big mover, Carlos Sainz, is up to 4th and he's only 24 points. The rapid pace of that Ferrari in the final 2 races could be a problem, especially if Leclerc gets involved and helps his teammate out, as Leclerc has nothing to lose. So we'll see what happens in the final 2 races as well. In terms of the constructors, we're 6 points behind Red Bull, so it is game on as well in terms of that respect.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
Well, we did have a very good turn 1 and tried to there, but after that the car was poor.
I've heard rumours that you're interested in moving to this team. Is there any truth to that?
It'd be like asking Hamilton if he was interested in moving to Red Bull.
Well, here's hoping they're working hard to find some...
Yeah, we're not looking to find something there. Claire she cut herself off, but yes, it might be too early to say one hand on the championship because it is only 12-point lead to Verstappen. But nevertheless, Mexico and Brazil are good tracks for me. Although Brazil is an interesting one, I don't really have that great pace around on this year's game particularly. On previous games I have been good there, but you know, we'll see if Hamilton, you know, he's on a late charge as well. Also, we've got the likes of Norris, who's starting to become more consistent. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how the final 2 races play out, to see how who comes into play, who's going to be there. Well, we'll see what happens. Obviously, next episode, Mexico already recorded, will be out tomorrow. But if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe, channel if you're new. You see plenty more F1 2021 drive career mode videos as and when they come out. Until the next video, then I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day and goodbye.